not know?
Get in the car, Betty. Stephen came to see me last night.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Hey, you forgot to pay me.
So I did. There you are. Keep the change.
Put him on.
Les?
Did you talk to Stephen Cord?
It was beautiful, even if I say so myself.
What happened?
I played it just right. He took the bait like the biggest trout you ever saw.
Well, skip the poetry. Just tell me what he said.
Our lawyer friend didn't believe one word about Mrs. Van Lyden.
Well, I thought you said...
Relax, Les. As soon as I left the office, I heard him ask his secretary for some sort of a court form. He was going to file a petition on Peyton right then and there. Incompetency.
Good work.
You better believe it. When Eddie Jacks is on the job, you got it made.
All right, Eddie. Goodbye.
Norman! Is it Rita? No, everything's all right. Come on down.
What's the matter? Charlie, take me down, will you? What's the matter with her? You wouldn't be over here for nothing. Something has to be wrong. What is it? Come on, you examined her today.
No, everything's all right. I just had a neighbor call. I came over for some coffee. Is the truck here?
Yeah.
As far as examination goes, I, satisfied with her physical condition. I said her physical condition because she seemed upset.
Yeah, I know.
You two have an argument?
We had a few words. Right before I left for work, I remembered she had an appointment with you, and I wanted to know who was going to take her, and she said her father.
That started the argument?
Yeah, well, she could have had her mother take her like I suggested.
Well, she already made arrangements for her father to take her.
I don't like her father, and I don't like him around her.
Well, you didn't tell her that, did you?
Well, she went running off downstairs to wait for him. That made me feel like I was 2 inches tall.
You know, if you'd have thought about that before you sounded off, instead of afterwards, it would have been a different story, thank you.
Well, who needs him?
Norman, I'm the last one that wants to interfere in the private lives of his patients.
But why am I risking Rita's health just because I don't like her father?
Well, that's a good question.
Because I forget. And I say things that I shouldn't. Look, every time we get in a hassle about Eddie Jacks, well, I know we have to stop. And I mean it.
But, Norman, if she's made up her mind that her father's going to be a part of her life, then he's going to be a part of your life, too. You're just going to have to grin and bear it, that's all, at least for the time being.
I've tried.
Well, I know you have.
But try harder, huh?
Well?
I'll promise you like I've promised myself a dozen times. But I just don't know if I can handle it. I better get back to work.
know, I like this time of year. I like the smell of it.
Me too. You know, everything's changing. The leaves, the grass, the color of the ground.
You haven't had much to say.
No. You know, when I was a little girl, I heard my father tell my mother that he thought females grew up thinking that if they talked too much, they'd die.
Your father was cynical.
No, he told me he was a realist. He said a cynic is one who disbelieves real things, and a realist is one who disbelieves phony things.
What were you thinking about back there?
Nothing. My mind was a blank.
Never.
I just sat there watching the fences go by.
You know, according to your husband, I'm just waiting around to pick up the pieces. You, my grandfather's money, everything in one nice little package.
Is it true?
Betty, go to Boston. Get yourself an apartment. Don't tell Stephen where you are. If he needs you, he can get in touch with you through your lawyers.
What will you do?
Well, I'll just sit back, and if you need me...
Just whistle? Or maybe you prefer the key to the apartment?
Stop it.
Well, I mean, you've got to be discreet. Stephen isn't above taking a leaf out of your father's book. He could have us followed. Rod, what is it you want? Do you want to keep this triangle going, or do you want to arrange the corners more neatly and save yourself public embarrassment? I mean, I could be fun on this temporary kind of basis.
You have about as high an opinion of me as your husband. You two better make up your mind whether I'm a Don Juan in mechanics coveralls or just a fortune hunter.
Why did you bring me here?
Why? Just to get away.
You know, Betty Anderson and Rodney Harrington used to take long drives to get away.
Yeah, whatever happened to them?
I don't know, I lost track. Too bad, they were nice people.
Nice. A sort of innocent.
Oh, now, we mustn't be too hard on them. They were very young.
And impulsive. You know, I'll bet he sells yachts, and I'll bet he sells a lot of them.
And you know, Betty works, too, a legal secretary.
She works at the marina, where Rod sells his yachts.
Yeah, that's it. Well, at least they're together.
Children?
Boy and a girl.
Problems?
None. But it was so long ago.
You know why I brought you here, Betty? I wanted to date you again. I wanted to open a car door for you again. I wanted to try and make you my girl again.
Rod, where are we? Right now, I mean.
Somewhere between hating each other and wanting each other.
1,000,000 miles.
Oh, but by jet you can get back and forth in no time.
No, I mean it. Where are we right now?
We're passing each other again, Betty. We're going in opposite directions again.
As usual.
We have to admit, our timing's been terrible.
I want to get away from Stephen. I want to get away from you.
And I want to help you get away from Stephen. And I want to get close to you.
No.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
Now, you know how important this hearing is to me, to us. You agreed to work with me. I need your help.
Do you, Stephen? Have you ever really needed anything from me?
You've got it all. There's only one thing that you haven't got, and that's somebody who cares about you.
You crawled back here because you smelled money. My money.